You're watching Triple A Backstage. We're here with Sean, Lachlan and Michael from Last Dinosaurs. How are you guys going?
Well, thanks.
I'm very good. Firstly, guys, can you explain where we are at the moment?
We are at the warehouse where we rehearse, and we've got a couple of studios here. It's just a place we've been playing and making music for since we were about 15.
And apparently you've been doing something a little more than just making music over the past 2 years here.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of 1920s cars that the owner here likes to restore, so I've been his main mechanic doing all of the fixing and the making.
So just you or any of the other Dino boys in on that?
Well, he helped yesterday a bit.
Yeah,
with the brakes.
On the brake pad. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys are currently on your Miracle Methods tour, which these guys play smaller venues than I guess you were for the Wellness tour. What led to that decision?
There's just an atmosphere in a club that you can't get anywhere else. The abundance of cheaper alcohol. Kind of like sometimes if it's dingy and cramped and dark and over the top loud, I just sort of like that. Like all of the venues we played in Japan, and a lot of the venues are just clubs, tiny clubs, they're just jam-packed, just freaking blasting. So yeah, in our life as a band, you just step up, the stages get bigger, the crowds get bigger, and they go further away. I don't know, it was just a nice change just to go all the way back, like a circle.
And Michael, you obviously came on for the second album. You went with the Dinos for the first album. Yeah. How do you feel about this coming into a band that was getting bigger and now you're, I guess, taking a step back in some eyes?
No. It's awesome because we've done all sizes of venues since I joined. So, like you're saying, in Japan and stuff. And last week in Adelaide was almost like playing in Japan again because it was a downstairs venue. You sort of enter it from the train station entry, and it's reminded us heaps of that Japanese style thing where it's just these clubs and these out of the way spaces that are just awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of Japan and whatnot, you guys have toured Asia something like 6 times in the past 4 years. What does Asia have that Australia doesn't?
I don't know, it's a weird thing. It's something we never really pursued, but it sort of came to us, and then we realised, because the first time we were there in Indonesia, we played a festival was with Sugar Ray. There's all the tents at a festival. One of the tents is the Universal tent, and they had a mural of our faces. And then after that, we got us thinking maybe there's a fan base, and then we realised there was. And then we just started tapping into it.
So that was obviously a few years ago. Yeah. Have they topped the massive mural since? Has there anything even crazier happened?
I mean, Thailand's pretty crazy. That's not a mural type thing, but there's a lot of just weird stuff, and you meet people that are just awesome and do stuff that you would never get to do otherwise. Considering
you're going to be doing more intimate settings or smaller rooms, however you want to put it, are you going to be doing some unplugged songs or do Eevee acoustically or something? No?
No more acoustic. We just don't sound good acoustic. It's just getting Van Gogh to do a pencil drawing of his sunflower thing. We rely on a heavily electrified sound, especially his lead guitar. If you put it on acoustic, it just sounds just awful. Yeah.
So are you going to rearrange some of the songs to make it a bit different to what they are recorded? So with the smaller shows, and there's a few songs that you've been playing since the day you first formed. Are you going to rearrange a few things, a few surprises for the set list, for example?
Actually, the only surprise is just some really old songs.
So do a Radiohead where you did it 15 years ago and you know what? Yeah, this is good enough to put
out.
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
The Miracle Methods tour is named after some of the lyrics in Apollo. And Sean, you said to Triple J, it's about finding and opening a keyhole of creativity in music and how to access and tap into what is needed to create. Saying that, what activity or what thing helps give you guys creativity as Last Dinosaurs?
Being creative, you sort of have to be on it for a sustained period of time, because a good idea is spontaneous. We're creative when we go to a farmhouse for a week and there's nothing to do except eat grass or play music. It's hard to say, you can't, because we can never sort of force it. It's just every now and then we'll sort of dedicate, this week we're going away, we're going to do this. Musically for us, it's more of a spontaneous sort of thing. It's when you feel something or something's happening. It's really hard to write together. That's actually quite a difficult thing. 4 guys pulling on a rope that's all tied to the middle, and everyone wants to pull in their own direction, but you've all got to try and get to the finish line.
I think when I interviewed you over the phone a few months ago, you're saying, I think you came back to Australia, but Lachlan, you're still overseas, and like that's how you sometimes write lead guitar parts.
That was actually ages ago. But yeah, I was just in Japan with my mum, and in my mum's hometown, it's just an industrial town, and there's really nothing to do. So I just sat upstairs like for hours and hours, just like noodling, and then I know I had so much time, I just had to preoccupy myself with writing parts because I'd never tried it before.
Does Brisbane give you as much inspiration as a band as overseas does?
Traveling definitely does. Obviously takes your head to like a different place and sort of like cleans the slate so you can start, just get out of like whatever thought patterns you have living in Brisbane. Traveling definitely gives you inspiration. Coming home, everything felt kind of newish again, and like I just felt like I had the energy, like the patience to want to actually sit down and do something, where any other time if you just in Brisbane just doing your normal things, it's just like you got nothing to inspire you, like your life has no inspiration or mysticism.
Again, last time I interviewed you, Sean, I asked how you guys musically had kind of changed from your first album to Wellness, and your analogy was think of the first album In a Million Years as the base of the funnel, think of Wellness as the middle part of the funnel, which is just a bit broader, and then the next album is going to be the extreme of both ends. A few months on, you guys, do you still explain it that way, or how's the third album shaping up?
Well, Locke's writing a lot more, so there's probably going to be like 60-40 me and Locke.
Sean, to be honest, like instrumentally, Sean, our music is pretty similar, because like pretty much all the music that I listened to was just music that Sean listened to. Yeah. So we got really
grew up
similar
together.
Yeah.
Wasn't Lockie like into metal, like shredding stuff as well? Like, wasn't there a bit of a tangent between you guys and musicality?
When I was in grade 8, like him, Alfio, Sean Nally and stuff were all like,
Sweeping.
they were all practicing.
Sweeping
and, like,
all day, every day.
doing scales and like practicing, and like Alfio had like practice like routine and crap like that, and they showed me like Steve Vai, Eric Johnson. Sean really liked Eric Johnson, and I was just like, I don't know why, but I was just like, I'm just going to give myself to just doing this.
We're up to the final question. If you guys are called Last Dinosaurs, so if you were the last dinosaurs on the planet, what kind of dinosaurs would you be, and what would be your prey or your diet?
Microcephalosaurus or some stupid name like that. It's the longest name, but it's the tiniest dinosaur.
Yeah. Anything that like just like didn't eat meat or cheese or milk or anything, like any animal products, or meat or milk. Just.
Do dinosaurs have milk?
I don't know.
I don't need the microphone for this one. It's not going to go.
Do dinosaurs have milk?
I think that's a good place to end the interview. You'll be watching Triple A Backstage. We're here with the Last Dinos. Catch them on their Miracle Methods tour touring around Australia, and love the new t-shirts. Catch you later.
Do dinosaurs have milk?